thank you for joining us on the call today. If you'd take a minute to tie up the win against Temple, maybe a word or two about Jacoby's performance, and then what you expect to see as you take to the road to visit East Hartford and face UConn, please.
Well, I thought the game with Temple, we got off to a quick start, and I'm very impressed with Temple. I think they got good athletes. They're well coached, and and I think we got a couple of scores on them in there, and I thought we ran the ball and threw the ball well offensively, and I thought defensively, we basically closed on the pass as well, had good transition, and tackled well. When again, I thought the only blunders were really in the special teams area, and get them fixed. But I think the big thing was it was a good win at home, and against a very good football team that's played well and stuff. And I thought we did a good job of corralling the quarterback and keeping him, where he needed to be, because I really had a lot of respect for him, P.J. Walker. I think he's really a very, very good player. So it was a good win. And then this week, getting ready for Connecticut there, we always like to go up north and stuff as far as some of the kids never been past Florida. So it'll be an interesting trip there. But again, I've been very impressed with Connecticut as far as the toughness, the soundness of what they're doing. And, I think right now, I think Bob's doing a good job with him. I said, I see progress each week. I see, that game with ECU probably could have went either way there at the end. And I thought they hung in there and did really an outstanding job. So I have a lot of respect for Connecticut and what they're doing. I know their record isn't where it needs to be, but that's no indication of the team there as far as I could see on film.
Take questions for Coach O'Leary, please. *1 on your telephone to join the queue. The operator will introduce you.
We'll go to Dan Tortora, Broadcast Media.
Hi, Coach. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine, Dan. Yourself?
Doing well. Thanks for asking.
Okay.
I wanted to go into your running back, William Stanback, and just what he's meant to your offense. And, one game over 100 yards, but is scoring, is doing what you need him to do, and just what you've been able to take away from when you need to lean on him.
Well, I thought the last game was the first game he actually reminded me of last year running. I think he's been banged up a little bit earlier in the season, and I think it's hampered him some. But he's healthy now, and I thought the last game was what I look at him from last year as far as what I expect from him. And I thought he ran hard this past weekend and did the right things. Had good vision on the line, what was taking place, and he needs to continue doing that because that's really the expectation level of him each and every week. And he has a chance to be a very good player as he gets older and more mature.
And then as far as what you've been able to do with your program in the American Athletic Conference, even though it's a young conference, you're very successful no matter where you're going. Just what you've taken away from, I know you talked about Bob Diaco and the respect you have for UConn, what you've been able to take away from the other programs and the success you've had against them.
Well, obviously it's like every program. I think we all got to recruit those war daddies up front. I think that's where the game starts, and offensive line, defensive line, and I think we're all, venturing to get those guys in because that's really what separates, I think, the good teams and the great teams and the teams that can't move the ball is up front, both sides of the ball. And, I think everybody has skilled athletes, but I think the trenches is where I think everybody in the conference is trying to get the right guys because they really determine, in my opinion, a lot of the outcome of the game as far as, whether you can control the line of scrimmage or you can't. And I think we're getting better at that. And I think the conference has great coaches. I always watch film, and I look at the schemes of what people are doing and the calls and what they're trying to get done. And I'm impressed. I think the knowledge of the conference is outstanding, and I think guys are utilizing the talent they have.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we'll go to Christopher Heidel, HRB Radio in Baltimore.
Right.
Hey, Coach O'Leary, talk about playing against UConn. What do you see on film for UConn this week?
What do I see? I see a team that's very well coached. Defensively, they sit in that odd defense, and they do a great job coaching it. They tackle well. You can see the toughness on the field. Offensively, I think they got playmakers that, they got to get the ball to and stuff as far as what's taking place. But I've seen a steady progress each week with the team, and that's what I look at as far as the coaching aspect of it. And I think they got players that want to win. You can see it, and if you watch the East Carolina game, that game really could have went either way at the down end of it there. And but I was very impressed with the way the effort, and you can see there's a lot of heart in that team.
I know a lot of warm weather teams travel up north, and I know that's not an excuse for playing football this time of year, but playing up in Northeast, and it's supposed to be very cold this coming weekend. How do you get your players involved and getting ready for that game up there?
It is supposed to be very cold?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, I think some areas might be in the 30s, or dropping during the afternoon.
I hope I could just get them out of the locker room and stuff, but I think we'll be all right. I think we have a number of kids that are from the north themselves, and but again, you play the same field for everybody. You just got to go out and play within the elements and get things done. And I would expect it to be that kind of weather, and I think the players understand that. And it'd be a great trip for the players up there, and again, a conference game that's very important.
Well, Coach, have a good trip up there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And do we have any other questions for Coach O'Leary, please? Star 1 on your telephone if so. Coach, we thank you for your time this week. Look forward to talking to you again next Monday.
All right. Thank you very much.